Hi, my name is Tim Wilson, and in this video, I want to talk about JavaScript's ternary operator. We'll talk about what it is, how it works, and how you can use it to make JavaScript code more efficient. Let's get started. I have CodePen pulled up with the JavaScript window on the left and the console on the right. Now, JavaScript's ternary operator is really just a shortcut for an if statement. To really show you the value of that, I'm going to create an example with a regular if statement, and then we will condense it down with the ternary operator. I feel like once you see how easy it is to use ternary operators, you will find all sorts of places to put them in your code. This first example is with the value card at a typical grocery store. I'm sure you guys have used these. You go to a grocery store, you give them all sorts of personal information, and in exchange they give you a card that will give you a percentage off of your groceries or some deals at the grocery store. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the savings rate if the person has a value card. So we'll just do a very simple if-else statement. So we'll say if value card, then what do we want to do? We want to set the variable comments. The string, we want to just add 10% to the end of the string. So if the value card is true, it would say your savings rate today is 10%. So then we'll add in else and put comments plus equals 0%. So if I come over here and if I log in comments, your savings rate today is 0%. If I switch this to true, your savings rate today is 10%. So I'm sure you guys have seen these before. It's just a regular if-else statement. And let me show you the same thing in a ternary operator. So with this, we're going to set comments plus equals. So, the same way, same thing that we'd be doing here, just setting it plus equals 2. And we'll put value card. And then we're going to do a question mark. And I'm going to put 10%, and then a colon, and 0%. Alright, so I commented out this other code, so let's just come over here and run it again. Your savings rate today is 10%, because value card is still true. Let's set it to false. Your savings rate today is 0%. So you can see how much cleaner this code is right here than the if-else and all these brackets are there. Okay, so let me put the syntax down for you just so you can see it. So we have a condition, then a question mark, then an expression 1, a colon, and expression 2. So a condition is anything that can evaluate to true or false. So for our example, we use value card, which we're, again, just trying to see if if they have a value card or if they don't. In expression 1, we have 10%, expression 2, 0%. So if the condition is true, it will return expression 1. If it is false, it will return expression 2. So you can see in our last example, the condition is false, so it correctly returns 0%. Your savings rate today is 0%. So that is a very simple example for a ternary operator in JavaScript. Let me show you another example that's just a little bit more complicated. So I'll get rid of this line right here. All right, and we'll just put example 2. So with this one, what we're going to do is we're going to set a status equal to gold. There we go. And we want to calculate the return policy. So let's say we have a store where somebody can have a status of bronze, silver, or gold, and the higher your status, the longer return policy you get, just as a benefit of, I guess, maybe purchasing a lot of products that year. So we'll create another variable, and we'll say return policy, and this is going to be our ternary operator. So you can set the ternary operator to a variable, just like we did here. And we'll go ahead and say if the status is equal to gold, then what do we want to do? We want to set the return policy to 30 days. Now, we want to set the return policy to something different if it's silver, as well as something different if it's bronze. So what you can actually do is you can nest ternary operators. So to do that, you would simply just put another condition if the status equals silver. Then what do we want to do? We want to set it to 15 days. And then if all else fails, we want to set it to 10 days. And I realize I did something wrong here. We need to switch that with a question mark. So we've got the first condition, status equals to gold. And then the expression is 30 days. And then the second expression, or I guess condition, would be if status is equal to silver, then do 15 days. Else, do 10 days. So let's make sure this works. We'll type in return policy 30 days. Let's switch that to silver. 15 days. And then bronze, but you could actually just type in anything there since it's just a an else kind of at the end. Return policy 10 days. So there we go. That's the second example, and that's just how you can nest ternary operators together. Now, just to make it more readable, you may want to kind of space this stuff out, just however you think is best. But that's how you nest ternary operators. Okay, now the last example I want to show you is another code pen that I created. And with this one, I've got some HTML, some JavaScript. And so with the HTML, you can see kind of the front end here for this. And so, this just says, do you know why I pulled you over? The road speed limit is 35. Do you have any idea how fast you were going? And then you can type in how fast you think you were going and hit submit. And a modal will pop up letting you know the officer's response. So the HTML here, I am using Bootstrap just to, create a very quick kind of front end here that's responsive. But, this right here isn't really important. What we really care about is the JavaScript. So here, document.getElementById submit. So this is the submit button. On the click, we're essentially just running a function. And the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting the value that's typed in here. And then I'm going to set the modal body equal to the text of this function. So when you click that, it's going to get the value of speed, and it's going to run this function, and the return of this function is going to populate right here. So let's take a look at the JavaScript. So I've got a few variables here for too slow, just right, too fast, and no idea. So no idea would be if they didn't type anything in. So here's the two ternary operators. So with speed, if they did not type it in, I want to return no idea, which would be this string here. Now if speed is less than 15, I want to return the too slow string. And if speed is greater than 40, I want to return too fast. And then if none of those are true, I want to return just right. Then with the response, what I want to do is, if the speed does exist, I want to put the speed as along with miles per hour, and then a space with whatever comments were evaluated there. But if the speed doesn't exist, I just want to put the comments. So I don't want there to be an empty speed and then the miles per hour with the comma. Then I'm just returning the response. So you can see if I just do that, empty and just hit submit, you'll get, wow, you don't even know how fast you were going. I'm going to give you a ticket for sure. So you can see that it correctly returned this one. If I do less than 15, 1 miles per hour, the minimum speed limit is 15. So you can see it correctly returned too slow. And then greater than anything greater than 40 will return the too fast string. And again, we'll just do the just right. You are a model citizen. So that is the last example for ternary operators. I hope you found this video useful, and I hope this quick tutorial will show you just how easy it is to use ternary operators. And hopefully you will see some places to use this in your code to maybe save some lines and just make everything look a little bit cleaner.